Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Are you going up?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Is it going?
Yeah.
What name does someone have? Introduce you. Yeah.
That's okay.
Appreciate it. No, I'm just trying to make this look what I told you. This is the last one. I know.
Just gonna pass
Can
it.
you bring it up with us?
You're not hacking.
Well, make sure.
You have a flash test to see what you wrote.
Okay, we are here today. These are the ones here today. We also have that's pronounced Schultz. Schultz.
Just one of my hands right here.
Schultz. These are the numbers that are here.
Okay, what are you going to talk about? You talk about you did
Basically,
surveying the building,
yeah, what we do in general, and then the building and all the results that we've gotten from the building.
okay. Who am I going to, who's going to take
Bart
over
was
after?
gonna be doing the main.
Okay, Barbara.
And Becca Robinson.
I'm going to introduce you guys and bring Barbara up.
Yeah, the first two. That's what I put them on top.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
No.
Lights up for a few minutes. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bill Burns. I'm director of the Sullivan County Historical Society. Welcome to a spooky afternoon. What we're doing, I'm going to introduce you to the Paranormal Society here. And take one or tour of this building and some things that we live on its plan. So, without any more ado, we would something. Sullivan County Paranormal Society. The members are Barbara O'Rourke,
Oh,
Robinson, O'Rourke, Vicki Robinson, Donna Lasher, Dave Robinson, and Barbara Schultz. Thank you very much. The paranormals were here once before, a very interesting talk, and they did a survey of the building. And they're going to go through that today, showing what happened in the building. Is there anything? I'd like to introduce Barbara, please. Come up. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Barb, and I'm Katie. Hi, guys. And we're the co-founders of Sullivan Paranormal. Have any of you been to our talks before? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, what we are and what we're not. We're volunteers. We go to various locations that are supposedly haunted or have activity that can't be explained. We do use various equipment that we'll talk about. We try to employ scientific methods. We have people on the team who do our historical research, because if you have, a house, if you have a building that has activity in it, you really want to look back. You want to see previous owners, history of the property before there was a building there, to try to just build up and figure out what's going on and why. We are tombstone tourists. Everyone in the group just adores cemeteries, and whether it's for the artwork on the stones, the history of the people, or just the feel of the area itself, that's where you'll find us a lot of days. We document the paranormal activity, we document, we go in and try to debunk everything that we can. We look at every natural explanation, and then when we don't have a true explanation, then we'll call it paranormal. We're not going to jump in and say something is haunted just because somebody hears, a squeak in their house. We're not what you see on TV. TV, they pack into an hour show every piece of drama and excitement they can get, where 80 to 90% of the cases that you're on, it has a natural explanation. We're not mediums or ghost whisperers, although on our team we do have a few people who are very sensitive and can feel the thing, there's a spirit, something around us, but we don't rely on that. We will go into a location scientifically, and we do take the information that our sensitives give us and use that as a direction, but we don't use that as proof because it isn't proof. We can't take somebody who says, hey, there's a spirit in this room. We can't take that to you guys and say this place is haunted. So we do what we can to document it in every scientific way that we can. We're not Ghostbusters or exterminators, exorcists or demonologists. We don't go in and try to get rid of what's there. We do, however, have a network of paranormal investigative teams across the US and even over in England and a number of places that we use for extra information. We do have a few people we know who are demonologists who will come in and will help with more extreme cases if we come across something. Investigations are always free because we're in it to help. If somebody's concerned, we want to go in and really say, hey, you don't have to be worried about this, or you do have this type of activity, but you don't need to be afraid of it. But we document everything. We keep records of all that we do, and as I said, we're volunteers and we're in it to help. We also have a lot of fun.
Yeah. We have 8 members out of Sullivan County, and we have 1 ghost hunting dog who comes along with us to cemetery investigations and investigations that allow us to have him. His name is Neil Lugosi, and he's at the front of this picture right here. Fearless leader, Barb, has 20 years plus of paranormal experience. She knows what she's doing. She's really good at using the equipment, and we love her. And we were established in March 2014. For 2 years, we're going strong, and a little bit about us. And we travel with my shop, which is called Magic Macabre Co., and it's a metaphysical crystal shop. And we go to different events all over the East Coast, and we share what we know. We've been featured on Paranormal Filler Radio with Wes Forsythe and local radio station WGFF. And we love to do informational talks like this one. We just did one at the Ellenberg B. Crawford Public Library in Monticello, and we're always willing to do that.
And we learn as we go because we're, none of us are paranormal speakers. This is not our forte, but when asked to show the things that we found, we like to jump in and say, all right, guys. And we hope that with each presentation, we get better at showing off what we do. There are 4 main types of hauntings. There's residual, intelligent, poltergeist, demonic. You can have offshoots of that, and a lot of places say, okay, maybe there's 6 types or 8 types or so on. But really, this is what the first 2 are a combination of what you really come across in the field. Poltergeist is more rare. Demonic is extraordinarily rare as opposed to what you see on television. How many of you watch the paranormal shows? How many of you are going to admit it? A residual haunting really is something that repeats itself. You walk into a building at a particular date, a particular time of day, and you're going to get that activity, and you're going to get it each time you're there. It could be an environmental factor, it could be any number of factors, but it replays, and it's not intelligent, it's not aware of you, you can't interact with it.
A lot of times residual hauntings are the ones that you see like walking through walls or walking through places that they shouldn't be able to walk through, and if you go back and you look at the building plans of the original building, sometimes there was a door there. and they're still walking through that door, because to them, they're still a door.
Intelligent quanting is really the most, I think, the most interesting, at least
Oh,
for me, so that you can get that two-way communication. You can get, if you have a flashlight that is really sensitive, you can get that to blink on when you ask for a response. Or when you have your voice recorders going, you get that EVP, you get that electronic voice phenomenon where you hear a response later when you play it back. Poltergeist is noisy spirit. Most people have an understanding. It's generally centered around a particular person, usually an adolescent girl. Objects can be thrown, noises are heard. It's really just a lot of wild energy that can happen.
Demonic are very rare spirits. They tend to be the ones that you hear the movies made out of and stuff, but when you're in the field, like, I've never met a demonic spirit. They're just evil in its truest form. They're not good. They're just awful spirits too.
And it's very hard to resolve that type of hauntings. There are ways, if you're living in a house, you have activity, there are ways to calm that activity, to remove some of it, depending, but demonic is vicious and very hard to do.
Something that we're going in to investigate is demonic. We won't do it. We'll send a team who is made for that, who focuses strictly on demonic hauntings to go in. Like, it's not something you want to mess around with.
Our equipment. One of the first things people ask us is, what do you use? When you go into a building, what do you do? So here's our answer. Is anybody familiar with ghost hunting equipment? Okay. These meters, and we use both types. One is called a millimeter, the other is a K2, and they record electromagnetic frequencies. If we are in your house, we walk over to your refrigerator, any wiring, any type of appliance, you're going to get that electromagnetic energy. And you can, they're used out in the field in everyday careers, electricians and so forth. We use these to see if in an area where we know there's no particular wiring, appliances, no electricity running through the area where the meter should show up 0. If you get a spike, if you get a registering of EMF, a lot of groups believe that is an indication that there's a spirit trying to manifest.
It's really tricky to debunk what is real and what's not real, and I can use one from the investigation we did here. Between the radiator and the piano right here, there is something there that's causing electromagnetic fields, but it's there all the time. So it's not paranormal, but we still can't really figure out what it is. So that's kind of like to show you just how tricky it is to figure out. So we can't rely on these solely. But if you're out in a cemetery and it goes off, that's when it starts to get a little weird.
Digital voice recorders. We have the voice recorder. Some people use their phones to collect electronic voice phenomenon. If you just set one recording, we could turn it on, put it on the table, and as we're giving the talk here, you might not catch a word that's actually being spoken by a spirit, but later on when you replay it, the voice recorder will pick up sounds, will pick up voices.
with the sounds behind it and enhancing to make it sound, you know, like it's there, to make it audible, to make you be able to figure out what it is. But you can tell there's words there. It's a little harder to interpret, but there's something there and you can't explain it. Lastly is the lowest quality, even with enhancement and turning audio, you know, filtering out the static, it's still impossible to hear, but you think there might be a voice, there might be something sliding, there might be a knock, but you just can't tell. And those are the main three.
Close box. People are less familiar with that. It's truly just an AM/FM radio with set to scan, but with the pause part of it disabled. So it will continuously scan through radio stations. So you get a constant static of the as it's going through the stations,